But as fate would have it, we caught the mongrel. Well, the older boys and the superintendent did. As I said, there was a honeysuckle tree over to the far corner. And us young boys were sitting up this night and all we heard was, "We've got him! We've got him!" That's all that was said. You know how they knew who it was? He let his dog off a chain. And the dog used to follow him around. The dog used to follow him around. So when he climbed up into the tree, the dog was sitting down the bottom. So it was common knowledge after that who it was. He disappeared overnight, just like that. There was no apology to the girls. It was a cover-up. It was an absolute cover-up. I'm sorry if I shock you, ladies and gentlemen, but these things did happen in this place. When you drove up this morning, you look, what a beautiful city. I admit, I'm with you. It is a beautiful city. It doesn't change my attitude and how I feel about the place. I still love it. But I was one of those boys who was flogged with these sort of things. Some of the other boys are not here today. Some of them are not with us anymore. They've gone on. But it was great that even though these things did happen, we are strong. We are very, very strong people. You've only got to look around you and look at those kids that have come through this place. Bob, Elsie, Lena, Les, Doris, one of our greatest people alive today, with all the poetry and books that she's written. We're proud of it. We're proud of Sid Jackson. We're proud of all our kids that made it. And whenever anybody says, let's go to Rollins, we're about the first people to put our hands up. Because we're one big family. That's made us strong. Even though we had these trials and we had these tribulations, we had each other. We are brothers and sisters. I'm not saying these things out of hate. I'm saying these things because they are fact. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. But these things still are there. And we have to let it out. Because if we don't, it's going to fester and fester and fester, and there'll be no healing places. So I apologise if I've offended anybody, but in my conscience, as I said, for the last 2 weeks that I've had come before I come down here, I've had to determine whether I was going to talk about these things or not. But I'm glad I've done it. I'm glad I've done it. The road coming into the mission back in the early days, Bob and Lena, they will remember this, used to come through the river flats. And there used to be a great big sign. Native Mission Farm Rollins, affiliated with the United Aborigines Mission. And down the bottom, it said, suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Children suffered all right. They suffered badly, but not the way the Lord Jesus Christ was talking about. And I sincerely believe that in years to come, those people that have been responsible for these floggings, these hidings, the harassment of our girls, will have to stand and be accounted for. But didn't Jesus Christ say, inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Ye have done it unto me. And the day will come when they will have to stand before that throne and be accounted for. Because we used to get that pumped down time and time again in hail and brimstone. You're a sinner. You're going to hell. But just to scare kids. If you look at 1 Corinthians 13, Paul writing to the Corinthians, in one of the verses he said, when I was a child, I thought as a child. I understood as a child. But when I became a man, or a woman, I put away childish things. In other words, the thoughts that you had as a child suddenly blossomed into adulthood. And you were thinking about these things totally different. Yes, you still have your childish thoughts there, but you also had your mature thoughts as well. And I think this is one of the things that I thank this place for. We were able to develop into the good men and women that we are today. Once again, I apologise for if it has offended anybody here, but I believe that it needed to be said. Thanks, Les.
Thanks,